Hiya folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you would like more cartoon news and shenanigans, please subscribe right now. We're on the path to 1,000 subs. You can actually see here we're at 483 public watch hours, 109 subs. So I'm about one tenth the way there when it comes to subscriptions, and when it comes to watch hours, I'm about one. When I get 500, I'll be one eighth the way there. So yeah, it definitely looks like I'm gonna hit watch hours like way before I actually get 1,000 subs. But if you'd like to prove me wrong, subscribe right now. Hey, and yeah, so I'm trying to do that by the end of the year, and I appreciate any subs along the way. Thank you very much. Now, what are we talking about today? We're doing a shenanigan. Okay, so sometimes I talk about the cartoon news. We're talking about the cartoon shenanigan, which is a review of Batman Death in the Family. Um, and this is not a movie I can recommend to anyone. In fact, lucky me, my friend bought this video, Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray. Um, my friend actually bought it. We watched it together. I thought it was shit. I just didn't think it was good. I would give it a 3 out of 10, and I'm gonna tell you why. Why was it shit? And this is actually a site where they did a review about it. But the only reason I came to this site is because I couldn't remember this. Now you're gonna be wondering, what the fuck does that mean? What does SG? If you haven't seen the movie, of course, there's spoilers here. But some of you are going to be wondering, what do these four things mean? What is Sergeant Rock? What is Adam Strange? What is Death? What is the Phantom Stranger? Okay, so some of you are going to be... I couldn't remember what each of the things was called, but... Oh my god. It was not good. But yeah, so basically, there was the old school film, which was like Batman Under the Red Hood. I think that's what it was called. Is that what it was? Batman Under the Red Hood, which was a film that came out years ago. That one was really good. I think another pretty big one that came out in the last like little while was The Killing Joke, which I also saw. Wasn't that great, honestly, because what they didn't have enough footage, which is another issue that we're about to go over. They didn't have enough footage to make it The Killing Joke into a full like 90-minute feature. So what did they do? The first half an hour of the film is random gibberish of like Barbara Gordon doing some stuff. At one point, Batman and Barbara even have sex under a gargoyle, which was just I laughed. I was like, "What is this?" It was so weird. Batman, like, they get it on, and then the camera literally like pans up towards a gargoyle. If you haven't seen The Killing Joke, you got to see that scene. It's just funny. And also disturbing because Barbara, and there's quite an age gap there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that the first half of the entire movie of The Killing Joke is literally like all this like filler with Barbara Gordon and some other criminal guy, and it literally amounts to like nothing, and was literally just like filler to make the movie 90 minutes long, which is like theatrical time. And guess what they did again? Even worse this time. It was even worse. So this time it's an interactive movie, okay? And this was based off an old comic book called Death in the Family, where what they did was they had Robin. They had Robin, or no, what they wanted to replace Robin. Is that what it was? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was something like they wanted to replace Robin. So they in the back of the comic book it said you could phone this number, and then everyone who phones the number, you could vote. You could vote to kill Robin or keep Robin alive, right? And you see here how he's holding him in his arms. That was kind of like the image. That was the iconic image. And so yeah, so people voted way back in the day, and it turns out I think it was just a couple like votes, like it was like 100 or something votes off. But they actually decided to kill Robin, who was Todd. It was Todd. What the hell's his last name? Todd Drake. No, Tim Drake. Todd. Oh my god, I forgot his name. What? Okay, hold on. Does it say his name in here? Todd. Hold on, let me hit Control F, see if it comes up. Jason Todd, that's his name. My bad. I totally got it wrong. Sorry, Jason Todd. You know what's sad? I just watched this movie yesterday, and I already forgot it. I even knew that. I'm a longtime DC fan, and I just blanked on his name for whatever reason. Okay, Jason. I knew there was a Todd in there. All right, you got to give me that. I knew there was a bloody Todd in there, and when I say bloody Todd, I, yeah. So what happens is in the movie. It actually starts out really mysterious because they have Batman talking to someone. You don't get to see who that is, but I guessed immediately who it was, and I was really disappointed when it ended up being that person. So this is spoilers. So if you guessed it was Superman in 2 seconds, you were absolutely correct. So yeah, he's in a cafe talking to Superman, but you don't. They hide it. They like to hide the fact. They literally just have Batman talking and talking for like half an hour interrupted, which is a huge issue because this movie is literally half an hour long, and then I have to get to these things, which oh my god. So they fucking bait and switch people. So this is all a fucking ruse. Do not buy this movie because it's half an hour long. And what they did is they made it so you could choose the ending. Now there's 7 different endings, right? Hold on, let me clear off that Jason Todd that I had to. Hold on, it talks about here. Yeah. So here we go. So there's 7 different endings, right? You'll need to select Batman Saves Robin if you want to get those extra endings. So me and my friend, we did them all. We watched all the endings. I'm not going to spoil this for you. I think if for those of you who buy the DVD or sorry Blu-ray. You should go watch those separately and tell me which one you thought was the best ending. But yeah, there was 7 endings. But yeah, but that's not what we're going to talk about because the movie it was good. I think it was good for the half an hour it was, and of course you could change the endings out and have different things play out. Where there was the Lazarus pit kind of thing and all that kind of that's what they do. They do a whole fake. Okay, so basically the Joker gets Jason Todd in they kind of like go their own ways and then they happen to both be in like what was it, Tiberia or Tibet or something. And then the Joker explodes this building and then they get Jason Todd's body into the Lazarus pit. Which was done by Ra's al Ghul, right? So Ra's al Ghul's in this movie. So they bring Jason back to life, and then Batman discovers it was him. He was the Red Hood taking over the old like mantle that Joker was like the old Red Hood that Batman created in the first place. So he feels like responsible. So yeah, the Joker's here. I actually like this Joker. This Joker actually felt like vicious. I like how evil, like this. Sometimes we get like a wacky Joker. Sometimes we get like a really like sinister Joker. Sometimes we get one that's like, well, there was that Joker movie that came out not so long ago, the live action one. And yeah, that Joker was kind of just more of like a happy-go-lucky, slightly insane kind of Joker. And then yeah, near the end, you get kind of more of the sinister Joker. This one is just straight up like evil, and I like that. He's kind of like psychotic and evil, and I don't know. He's even like we're all gonna die together, and I like that. That was a really good. That was the best scene in the whole movie. You know what scene I'm talking about if you've seen it, where he tries to like kill all 3 of them and he's like, it'll be the perfect ending. I love that. That was really good. So this is definitely one of my favorite Jokers in a while, for sure. And he had a good voice actor too. I'm not exactly sure who the voice actor was, but it was pretty damn good. So I enjoyed that. So now let's get to the juicy part, or the not so good part. So it turns out the movie is half an hour long, right? It's about half an hour long. I mean, if you watch all the endings, whatever, maybe it'll be a little bit extra, but it's about half an hour-ish long. Maybe I'll even give it like 40-ish minutes. I don't know, like half an hour, I would say. off the top of my head. I'm saying anyway. But and then you're thinking the movie's over, or like I thought there was going to be a lot more, and I was just like, what the fuck happened? I was like, what? The movie ended? What's going on here? So the movie begins in this like comic book shop with live action. You kind of like go through this like footage of, it's like live action footage. Then it goes to this rotating comic book rack, and then it shows you the story. And so it turns out there's actually, this movie is 5 separate mini short. It's literally like a hodgepodge of nonsense. Like the movie, I feel like this should have been like its own movie that should have been called like DC Spotlight. I think that's what they should have called this movie. That's literally what they should have called. They literally, look, guys, just as this is clickbait. This is movie. They literally made a movie that is clickbait. No joke. So they basically lure you in with the whole Batman. It's like, oh my god, it's Batman. He has Robin in his hands. But like, that's only half an hour. The movie's 90 minutes long, which means 1/3 of the movie is only about Batman, and the other 2/3 more of the movie is about random characters. So what are these? So what are the random stories that it goes over? One of them is about Sergeant Rock. That was the one about like he's a soldier, and then is that the one? Yeah. No, what's Death then? Oh yeah. Death was the okay. Hold on. So Sergeant Rock is about him. He's a guy sergeant. He's in the military, and then there's this evil like kind of Nazi organization who's making the soldiers into monsters. And I think that was probably one of the better stories. I think the Adam Strange one was the worst. For sure. And yeah, so the Sergeant Rock one was like okay-ish, but yeah, so his friends get turned into like a vampire, like Frankenstein, and like a werewolf or something. And when I say friends, I mean it's like his fellow soldiers. They get kidnapped. And yeah, they turn into monsters. They stop the zombies who are making more monsters. They destroy it all. They stop the villains, and then he takes his mutated soldiers, and they go off and do whatever the hell. So it was a really short story, and I was like, they lured us in. I thought this was going to be an hour-long Batman movie at least, like, or a 90-minute. I thought this was going to be an hour-and-a-half Batman movie. And then you just start getting Sergeant Rock out of nowhere. And then it jumps to Adam Strange, which was the worst. I was so bored out of my mind during that shit. Adam Strange, this guy's civilization was being destroyed. So he jumps into this like teleporter thing called like a Zeta Ray, I think it was. I'm actually not familiar with Adam Strange. I'm not like super. I guess this was like my first foray into him. Yeah, he goes into the Zeta Beam. He spends like decades on this like mining colony thing, and then I guess one day they dig too deep, and all of these like alien creatures start killing them. And then he's a drunken old man. He's like, I'm never gonna get back to my daughter. Yeah. So when his civilization was being destroyed, his wife dies in his arms, and his daughter manages to escape, I guess. And then so the Zeta Beam, he's trying to calculate it'll appear eventually, and then so he saves the day. He stops the aliens, and then the colony's like, it's too dangerous here, we have to leave. And then he's like, I'm not going with you, I have to stay here and wait for the Zeta Beam. And it's bullshit, because literally it's almost like some like cheesy sitcom bullshit, where like as soon as the colony leaves, literally like a second later, the fucking Zeta Beam reappears and he escapes. It was awful. It was terrible. I didn't like it. I did not enjoy the Adam Strange story. The death one was the best. Or was it? The Phantom Stranger was pretty decent. Actually, no, I think that the death one, no, the Phantom Stranger was better. Actually, I like the Phantom Stranger one. The death one was really good. So it features the female kind of version of Death. There's this guy. He's kind of like a junkie. He was bullied. He becomes an artist. He sticks to himself, and he has a really bad life. He got broke up with his girlfriend and all this kind of stuff, and he has the pressure on, loses his job, and so I guess he could also see death before he actually died, right? Which was interesting, or maybe that was alluding to the fact that he was going to die soon or something. But yeah, so he ends up painting her, and he ends up realizing that he died because of a cigarette. He lit up a cigarette, and then it falls and it burns him alive, and he dies. And then the only thing left is this beautiful portrait of death herself. And so it was a very like emotional tale. I think you got like you can't get justice out of me telling you. Maybe go like watch that segment online if you really want to. Again, I can't recommend this movie. I give it like a 3 out of 10. Maybe I'll give it a 2 out of 10 because it clickbaited me into thinking we were watching a full Batman movie with Jason Todd and the Red Hood and Joker. I thought it was going to be a full length feature film. No. But the death one was probably if I had to rank these, I'd probably say Adam Strange was the worst, then Sergeant Rock, then Death, and oh no, actually, obviously the Batman movie was the best of the best. So that was the best. Second best was the Phantom Stranger. Third best was Death, and then Sergeant Rock was fourth, and then Adam Strange was the worst. So that's how I'd rank them. And so next is the Phantom Stranger. I'll talk about that briefly. So this was the wildest one out of all of them. I thought like the Adam Strange one wasn't that like it was just kind of boring. The Death one was an emotional one. The Sergeant Rock one was just like weird as fuck. And then the Phantom Stranger though, this one was like the weird off the wall one. So it talks about there's some hippies. These hippies recruit this girl who feels like she doesn't belong. Similar to the Death situation there, where she just didn't feel like she fit in, and she wanted to get away from the man, kind of thing. But it's hippie version. It's like a hippie version, and so she joins this like cult of hippies, and then I can't remember who the characters. I can't remember the name of the guy, but they bring her to this house. And then he's like kind of like the cult leader, and then he like drinks. He's like this magic character that has this medallion that keeps him like immortally young. And apparently, the only thing that can the only thing that can destroy him is like a virgin or something like that, like a virgin woman, or like I don't even know what the hell. So the Phantom Stranger like warns her before she go. He appears out of nowhere. I actually like that kind of vibe where he's all like mysterious. Phantom Stranger appears out of nowhere, tells her not to go in. She goes in anyway. Imagine if she didn't go in because the movie would have ended immediately. So obviously she goes in anyway. Yeah, and then she gets kind of like lured in, and all the other hippies get killed and drained of their life force. And then, yeah, she just kind of she ends up defeating the guy and taking his medallion, and he dies, and that's it. The Phantom Stranger, he doesn't really actually do anything. he just kind of he just fucking is there, and he just kind of like guides her into defeating the villain for him because he couldn't do it himself. Um, but yeah, it was such a weird story. I'm pretty sure she even steals the hippies' van. I'm pretty sure, like, she literally just steals a van at the end of the episode. So there's that. If only the Phantom Stranger could bring her back to her father or family, or like push her where she's supposed to belong in the world, that would have been a better ending. But no, she just takes their van and drives off to fuck whoever knows where. And that's it. That was the movie. It was like 5, and they wasted a whole bunch of footage on the same, like, I'm telling you, there's this live action scene where they go into, like, it starts out with a comic book rack, and then they go through the comic book shop, then it goes to this comic book rack that spins around, and then it goes to the title of the, so it'll be like Sergeant Rock, and then it'll zoom into the comic of Sergeant Rock, because all these are based off movie, or off comic books, right? And that was that. So like, this was like a hodgepodge of lies, and I can't recommend it. So that was my review, quick fire review. We're in 20 minutes. I'm gonna end it here. That's it. You guys let me know if you watch this movie. You got to tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Actually, tell me the number. Tell me the order number. So again, I say Batman is number 1. Phantom Stranger was number 2. The death episode was number 3. The Sergeant Rock was number 4, and Adam Strange was number 5. That's my ranking for how good they were. I want to see your ranking if you've seen this movie. Even just let me know your ranking and why you put it that way. And yeah, that's that. So let me know in the comments your thoughts. Don't get scammed by this movie, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. Please subscribe. The end. Bye bye. See you later.